Welcome to the Corporate Learning Network videocast. I'm Jeff Cattell. Today I have with me Lisa Hickey, Vice President of Drexel University Online. Lisa will be speaking at our event, Effective Marketing for Online Education, which will be taking place December 9th through the 11th in San Diego, California. Lisa, welcome to the program.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
We're glad to have you as well. So I understand what you'll be speaking about is the fact that the value propositions for online arms of colleges and universities often have not kept pace with business and economic developments. So from your perspective, how would you define Drexel Online's value proposition?
Sure. Really, the value proposition for Drexel University Online resides in the quality of the education that we're providing students online. We really focus on the fact that it's the same degree with the same, well-renowned faculty that teaches on our campus and offers students the same advantages that they would receive as if they were attending the bricks and mortar campus here in Philadelphia.
And so, yeah, that makes a lot of sense and definitely seems like that would be a big draw for people, for sure. So to come up with that value proposition, what steps did you take, and then how has that maybe adjusted, as you're saying that part of your discussion will be how maybe these value props don't keep up with things. So how has that adjusted over time?
Yeah, so I think the very foundation in terms of the quality of the online experience, that remains constant regardless of messaging or different strategies to defining our brand. I think what becomes more relevant with regards to the competitive marketplace that we're in right now is messaging that surrounds that will reside with students. So with regards to changing kind of in the economic times that we're in, that takes into effect how we're going to change our messaging as well as how we stay competitive in the landscape. So it's really about going beyond the convenient, flexible, anywhere, anytime messaging of online education to focusing on the very foundation of that, which for us is the quality of the education that we provide, the access to the same faculty that teach here on campus in an online environment. So we're really viewing online education as merely a vehicle as how students are receiving information. That is now increasingly more necessary in the academic times that we're in and in the workplace environment that many of our students are in.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think that's very perceptive in terms of the fact that at least my brief amount of reading talking about how everyone seems to be claiming that they have the most convenient or the most flexible schedule. So that seems to be like totally pervasive in the marketplace. So this seems like a way to differentiate yourself for sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So sort of going off that, I know one of the benefits that you guys are sort of bringing up is the fact that people who go to Drexel University Online will have the same experience in terms of academic potential as they would if they went to the brick and mortar campus that Drexel University has. So, and also being part of that sort of traditional education and also online education, I'm wondering, how does Drexel University most globally, what is their general attitude towards the future of online education?
Yeah, so Drexel University Online was really one of the first pioneers in bringing a fully online accredited course to fruition in 1996, and so it kind of, again, going back, the quality was important then, and it still is today. I think in terms of innovation in online education, we're really have kind of focused and are committed on kind of increasing our global brand awareness and really accelerating the development and the delivery of the programs that we're offering online. We also are focused on student outcomes. So not only, how convenient and flexible is this educational experience to you, but, is this going to advance your career? Are you going to receive increases in salary? Are you going to become, a better you, which is really kind of what we focus on in some of our messaging currently. So that's important to us as well as really creating target offerings for our students. So is there a need in the marketplace for a specific certificate or a specific degree, and are we fulfilling that need? And we really rely on not only our students, but a lot of our corporate partners that we work with to kind of direct and guide us with regards to the needs that they're seeing in the marketplace to kind of grow the professional development of their workforce.
Cool. Now you sort of alluded to these new type of programs or bringing on these new types of programs, and that was something I definitely wanted to ask you about, is that I've seen, I don't know if you could call it two schools of thought, but it seems like two almost distinct ideas present in the online education world in terms of growing a program. One would be increasing the number of degree opportunities, degree programs that you're offering, and the other would be carving out this niche, carving out this monopoly specifically in a niche, so that you can brand your university as like the preeminent university online for a specific market. So does Drexel Online fit into one of those models?
I don't think we really have a model per se in terms of how we continue to develop our offerings and increase the amount of offerings that we have. I mean, I think that some of our traditional offerings we've really seen growth in. I think it first started with IT and engineering, and now we've certainly seen growth within our nursing offerings and healthcare. I mean, that's probably across the board, regardless of the university that's making those offerings. And so, of course, that's where a lot of competitive pressure is being put. And so I think within those specific areas, there's opportunities within there, and there's also opportunities to kind of go and grow additional marketplaces. So we're probably taking probably a little bit of both of those approaches in terms of figuring out if we have everything in our offerings that students are looking for.
Cool. Another thing, sort of going back to something you said at the beginning, was you were one of the first, or Drexel University Online was one of the first universities to really focus on these degree granting programs starting in the mid-90s. So I'm wondering, talking about the evolution of the students that are coming to these programs and their preferences and behaviors. So in the last decade and a half, almost 2 decades at this point, have you seen a change in who's coming to Drexel University Online and their preferences?
Well, I think we've definitely, in terms of the demographic of our students, that's pretty much remained consistent. I think, what we've noticed is that the students are becoming a little savvier with regards to their when they're pursuing their course offerings online. I think they're really asking themselves the question, is the degree that I'm looking for being offered, is it going to make a difference in my career? Is it offered at a time that fits into my schedule? And is my company going to help me through tuition reimbursement? How long is this going to take in terms of when I can get this completed? And then what's the outcome of me going through this process? As I mentioned before, I think in the past they were really looking for, how can I get this at the most affordable rate, or how can I get this as quickly as possible? And I think now that shift has changed to, is the investment that I make not only in my financially, but in my time am I going to get a return on that investment? And again, that kind of leads back to what was at the core foundation of our value proposition with regards to the quality of the education experience. So yes, we have an offering, a lot of universities do, but in terms of the outcome, your return on investment, I think that's really the value that students are looking for now, and the value that employers are looking for. There's a lot to be said about offerings that are coming from an accredited university, from a university that has a traditional bricks and mortar campus and has an established brand. I think those are important things that not only students are looking for, but also employers are looking for from students that attend universities in an online environment.
That makes a lot of sense, for sure. Speaking a little bit more about these prospective students, or these students that are matriculating as well, what channels in terms of marketing have you been using to approach them, and are there ones that you'll be using maybe more in 2014, ones you'll be using less?
Yeah, so we've had a nice, mix in terms of direct-to-consumer um, approaches with marketing to students, as well as a lot of our corporate partnership efforts. So we've partnered with over 500 corporations to kind of bring the value of Drexel as a benefit to employees and to the employer. We've expanded our social media platforms. We've gotten in front of students probably more in an event format, whether it be face-to-face events for students who do reside in the area where we're located, or events via webinar that are bringing kind of more content to the student and getting them introduced to our faculty, introduced to some of the content that they might learn in one of our course offerings, and then having them kind of raise their hand and say, we are interested in pursuing this.
Cool. And for these marketing channels and just marketing in general, are there tools and technologies that you've implemented recently or ones that you're looking to implement in the near future?
I think every marketing executive at a whether it be at a university level or kind of in a corporate setting, is always looking for the how to measure their return on investment. And I think we constantly seek new opportunities to kind of better wrap our heads around what's resonating with our students. We've definitely made investments in terms of getting to know our market with the help of outside research companies, that sort of thing. And I think what we'll do in the future is, take that information, use it to kind of investigate new avenues for marketing, and then really try to measure our return on those investments that we're making.
Very cool. Well, thanks, Lisa. That was Lisa Hickey, Vice President of Marketing for Drexel University Online. For more information on Lisa or any of the other speakers at the Effective Marketing for Online Education conference, you can view an agenda by clicking the Download Now button below. Thanks for watching.